What is going on, YouTube? PPS here. It is Past the Prop. It is Monday's show today. We have a full slate of baseball action starting here in a couple hours already. So we're back ready to cash some tickets with you guys. Joined as always by my guy, Stu. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Obviously, it's a little bit of a slower time in sports right now with just the MLB going. But hey, we got the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on the bat tomorrow, as well as some NBA Summer League for all the degens out there like myself. So, maybe if I couldn't get you to watch the NBA Finals, maybe I can get you to watch some Summer League action this year. But beyond that, doing pretty good. Solid weekend, very chill. I took yesterday off, so no plays. So excited to get right back into it today.
Yeah, no, I'd probably be more entertaining to watch Summer League, honestly, than that. So definitely, like way more entertaining. So maybe I will. Maybe I'll tune into that. I don't know if I'll be making any bets on those, but I'll definitely. I want to definitely see some of those high end guys, the top picks. Those would be fun to watch in Summer League.
Oh, yeah. Chet's going to be playing for the first time. Obviously, Wemby. I'm going to be watching my Wizards personally. A lot of good stuff to look forward to if you're a fan of really just seeing any of these young guys whatsoever. The quality of basketball is going to be pretty low. No one's really trying too hard, but I will still be betting on it. Hopefully, DraftKings gives us some lines. Right now, it's only Prize Picks. We'll see. But hey,
let's see if your boys play some Johnny Davis here. Maybe they'll give him a little run. Towards the end of the year, he was doing pretty well.
I bet they probably will. He's one of those guys I definitely do want to see, and I hope he keeps improving because we need that pick to not be as embarrassing as it was last year because we just got made fun of all year long.
Yeah, no, I didn't think he was ready right away. That's why I was kind of surprised he went as high as he did to you guys. But hey, I mean, he's good. It's just some people take a little bit longer, especially playing in a system like the Badgers. It ain't very NBA friendly. So let's get this thing rolling here. We have a full slate. We'll get to the comments here in a second. Got 10 of you guys in here in the first couple minutes here. We appreciate you guys popping in early and often on your Monday. Stu, where are you looking today? Where are you looking on this slate? Before we get into our recap from last show, I want to kind of take a look at this slate. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, obviously when you have this many kind of solid teams in action, it's definitely going to be interesting. I think Orioles-Yankees is definitely one that's standing out to me. Obviously, Domingo coming off of the perfect game. How do we bounce back from that, right? What does he look like? I've seen some guys posting historical trends and stuff like that, and I always like the Orioles bats on the other end. So I'm really just curious to see how Domingo kind of bounces back from that last game.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of Tyler Wells. I like backing him as well. So that game's kind of a toss-up to me as well. So it's like I think I'm out of fade Herman, to be honest. I think that's probably my move. I'm going to have to. Unfortunately, I kind of like the earliest game the most. Martin Perez, Christian Javier. Dude, I think they both get absolutely lit up today. This is a tough matchup for both of them in Texas. Christian Javier can't miss bats. You're facing – this is the worst thing you want, right? You don't want to face the Rangers as a right-handed pitcher at home. That's just kryptonite to any pitcher, right? These guys have been absolutely mashing right-handed pitching at home. But, I mean, you look at Martin Perez. He's been getting up a ton of hits, a lot of hard contact. And this Astros team is no slouches. So I think this is going to be a fun one. I looked through just because of how old – Martin Perez is and how many, times he's going through. I saw like Kyle Tucker's history is like 400. You got like 57 at bats for Jose Abreu. Like at this point, you almost have to just go on the hitter side because Martin has dropped a little bit in velo and in movement. So it's like kind of almost have to just roll with the bats here and hope they, talent pays off here.
Yeah, this could be a good one for one of your first 5 alternate totals right here too. I mean, Javier, obviously to me, Javier was scary to play against. I just wouldn't bet against him last year. He was striking guys out, and then he'd give up an occasional home run because, the fly ball rate is a little bit higher. This year, it's the same thing, just without all the strikeouts. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like he is a lot more susceptible to hard contact. And like you said, that Rangers lineup is obviously extremely scary. So maybe we take a look at a little alternate first 5 over in this one.
Yeah, no, and I've seen people talking about tipping this pitches, but it's like the books are still giving me 4.5, right? If they were going to just jump me up to 5.5 or 6, I'd be a little bit more, on board. But the velo's just not getting by guys. Even fastballs are, what should be located in spots. I mean, he's not throwing it in like good spots either. He's putting them in spots where barrels are going to be coming on a lot of these. I do like this one. I like his strikeouts as well. And I'll be talking about mine today. That's kind of had this type of trend where you see it in these last something starts, and you're like, oh man, why is it here? It's just like I kind of get nervous on some of these, and I have one of those today. I definitely want to roll with the Orioles. I think that's definitely the side for me. And hopefully they can come out ready to play. I know last show, I believe we went 1 or 2, 1-1 technically, I guess, if you want to count your Arias one, we count it as a half win, I guess. I don't know how we
did. Technically we went 3-1 because this did win. You just didn't win that much money. You got paid, $20 on your like $80 bet. So it's not a loss. We'll take that, right?
Mm-hmm. And old Lane Train came through again.
Oh yeah. He was almost on the card today, but it got bumped up a little bit. But I love Lane Thomas. When he's at that 1.5 number against the lefty, we're gonna be here every single time.
Yeah, my long shot swing didn't go well. He got absolutely rolled. And I said that on the show. I said I'd rather be at the plus money and not play like the minus 130, just for him to get to the 5. And yeah, I think he maybe got 1 or 0. I don't even remember what he got because I shut it off after the Brewers beat the hell out of them. And then the Rockies' first 5 went over as well. So it was awesome. It was a good show again. And hopefully today we can continue that into this one. So a lot of stuff on the slate here. A lot of guys that we like to back. A lot of guys we like to fade on this slate. And let's get it right into your first one here. And I will let you kick it off.
Sounds good. We're obviously going with, a fairly popular name right here in Luis Arias, over 1.5 total bases. Obviously just cashed him on that hit last time. And, I do normally stick to the hit parlays right here, but I was expecting a lot worse price. I was kind of thinking I might be having to pay minus 130, minus 140 or something like that. And obviously at first I told Justin for the show, I wanted to bet single. I just wanted to bet him to get a single because, as you guys know, that's a kind of weird market. You don't really mess around in that too much, but you normally get great prices. Luis Arias is minus 245 to just hit a single in today's game. So that's obviously kind of a no bet. And then I did think about over 1.5 hits, but that's barely plus money. You're getting like plus 110 for over 1.5 hits. So why not have the opportunity to get the doubles, to get the extra base hits, to get everything right here. And an absolutely fantastic matchup against Miles Mikolas, who's someone who we've been fading all year long. I mean, I don't know if this is like the 3rd or 4th straight show. I feel like I've went against him, but it's kind of self-explanatory, right? This is a guy that his whole goal is to limit hard contact, right? This guy that's thrown over 100 innings so far this year only has like 80 strikeouts and is 115 hits allowed. So he may be missing barrels at times, but even if he is allowing soft contact, people are getting on base and runs are scoring. The guy's allowed 7 or more hits in each of his last 5 outings coming to this start right here. It just seems like an absolute monster target. And then we have a soft contact pitcher. Who's the perfect guy to take advantage of that? The ultimate soft contact monster. Arias isn't selfish. He's not going to be fighting for, these home runs or these super deep fly balls. He's going out there to get the job done, to get on base, and to get his team going. And I think he'll have multiple opportunities because even if Miles isn't pitching too well right now, he is getting deeper into these games. So I do think we'll have a couple opportunities right here. And I just love the price at minus 109. So I'm going to take... he's hitting 389. I don't think I need to yell at you about his batting average stats. I think you get that. I think the gist of this is we get a pitcher and a hitter that I think have very similar skill sets, and I think Arias can take advantage today.
Beautiful. And before we get into some of those questions on it, I'm going to be in that same game. I'm going to actually Miles Mikolas over 6.5 hits allowed, minus 125. I love this one. Obviously, you broke it down pretty well there. But one thing I do want to talk about here is just the swinging strike rate. Obviously not there. You look at him in terms of strikeout percentage, he's in the 11th percentile. That is not good. 2nd percentile in whiff, right? The expected batting average is in the 4th percentile. Like, this dude is giving up a lot of hits, right? A lot of hits. But like you said, I like that you talked about the barrel rate being low. But I mean, you look at these guys. Let's go at his sinker. 341 expected batting average, right? You look at the 4-seam, 316. Everything else is above 250, right? We're almost expecting him to be worse going into these further as well. What I do like is he's awesome at not walking people, right? He's got a 5% walk rate. That's top 10% in the MLB. When we're looking at hits, that's what we want. He's trying to eat up innings, right? Miami at home batting 272, but they're in the middle of the pack in OPS, which means they're not hitting for power. They're just hitting for contact, and that's really all we need here. I don't need them to give up a ton of runs. He's given this up in 5 straight games, and he's been getting lit up in those games. But also, we could see a game like what he had against Pittsburgh. He gave up 10 hits, but only gave up 2 runs, right? So it's like this is the spot I definitely have to take Michaelis at. I don't even know if I go over the earned runs just because you don't have really that much home run equity here on the Miami side. So I really like Michaelis to give up these hits. And it almost reminds me of like the Guardians versus Greinke in his last outing, right? A team that doesn't that's trying to put the ball in play. You got Michaelis here, doesn't strike guys out. And Greinke threw well in that game. He gave up 2 runs. But he gave up like 9-10 hits on just like rinky-dink ground balls through, right? And I think that definitely could be something we see here. I don't know why they're giving it at this number, and this is like exactly what we talked about with that Tyler Wells, that 5.5 hits allowed. It's like, why would you give it to us at this number? And honestly, I'm going to be going all in on this one. I really like Michaelis to give up these hits, and I mean, Ahan's probably pointing out that I didn't even know that, but I will still take the numbers every single time in this one. I mean, we could see Luis Arias get 3 of these, right? He could get 3 of these hits on his own.
Yeah, no, and I like what you said too about the Miami. There's no power in this lineup. Solaire's the one guy, but we're in Miami right now. So the home run equity for this team is so low that the way Miami is so used to scoring is being that really scrappy team of you got to keep the line moving, keep those singles going. And I agree with you. I think this is a great matchup to take advantage of it. And one final thing, I love props that have different ways that you can win. Like I love having as many outs as possible. And I think this is a great example of that. And you said it at the end. He could go 7 innings and have a solid outing, only give up 2 runs, right? Miles' job is to keep them in the game, right? This isn't their elite tier pitcher. His job is to give up 3-4 runs and give your team a chance to win every 5th day. And he does a solid job of that. So I like that even he could have a good outing right here, give up 3 earned runs, 6 innings, and still fairly easily go over this number.
Yeah, very low amount of pitches per at bat too, which is really nice as well. Maybe get him that extra inning. And we've seen Marmol give him the benefit of the doubt to maybe send him out for that 7th inning, which nowadays you don't really see that much, right? So yeah, love Michaelis fade spot here. I'm looking in here. Stu, how do you feel about Arias hits run RBI 2.5 plus money?
I would say the thing is to get a run is plus 100. So when a guy or plus 110. So when a guy's plus 110 to get a run, or you need like a run and 2 hits or 2 runs and 2 hits, I think I'd rather just go to the run, right? Because with this bet, you need something outside of just hits, right? So even if we're anticipating 2 hits, so I would say I like, because I was between runs scored and total bases for my play, because I looked at the 2.5 and I thought, why would I pay 125, to get 3 separate outcomes when I could get plus 110 for one of those outcomes already? So for me, I'd prefer to go runs scored before I went to hits, runs, RBIs. But I understand that does provide a little bit of safety where you can get there in multiple different ways.
Yeah, it's just the bottom of this order is kind of, Jacob Stallings or Fortes. Like, there's not much. I don't want to say talented, but there's not many, high-end MLB players at the bottom of this order to get on base for Arias, unfortunately. So, love those spots. We will be heading over to plays number 3 and 4 here, and you're kicking off with one guy from your team here.
Yeah, Candelario over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs minus 130 over on BetMGM. I mean, hey, someone mentioned it a little bit earlier with the All-Star snub Lane Thomas. Hey, my guy Candelario's probably got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder as well, right? I mean, he's been even getting a little bit of credit on those MLB graphics because he pops up as the number 1 offensive WAR guy and a lot of those and a couple other advanced stats. He's the leading third baseman in the National League. So I do think that even beyond just the stats we're about to talk about right here, I do like that we do have that added motivation of that, first game kind of off the All-Star snub, just Josiah Gray's getting the credit, but let's see what our guys Candelario and Thomas do with a little bit of revenge narrative. But even besides that, we're going against one of the worst starting pitchers in the league over the last month, right? Michaelis rakes out on today's slate as the worst performing pitcher in June. This is number 2 with Weaver right here. Guy's given up 5 or more hits in each of his last 6 outings and over 3 earned runs in a good majority of those. Someone that's even struggled a decent amount more on the road, which doesn't make a lot of sense when you're playing in Great American Small Park, right? You kind of expect that it'd be one of those situations where maybe has amazing road splits, but they've been pretty evenly bad, especially over the last month. What I like about Candelario coming in with a little bit of a 9-game hit streak. We've got some momentum. He's over the 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs and 8 of his last 10 coming in right here. Hit the homer yesterday. The doubles are rolling. He's got some momentum going. Candelario's kind of a streaky hitter. I was playing him a little bit earlier in the season, then he went through kind of a rough patch, but I really do like this angle here. I think we're seeing a lot of offense in tonight's game. I don't think there's any way around it. I think both pitchers are very susceptible to a lot of contact right here. I know the Reds are hot. I know they're going to do their end of the bargain, right? So it's kind of about which Nationals do I want to target. I didn't expect Candelario to be 1.5 where he is in that Nationals lineup, right? He'll have either Dickerson or Stone Garrett, who just hit a grand slam, coming in behind him. And then obviously the Luis Garcia, Lane Thomas, and Joey Meneses in front of him. So I do like the protection, right? Candelario would not get to hit in the 4 or 5 hole in really any other team. So he pretty much has the best kind of hits, runs, RBIs equity on this team. I just think this is a very good price and a very solid matchup right here.
I love it. Yeah, I've been watching a little Nationals baseball. I bet them yesterday, first 5 plus 1.5. That's disrespectful, bro. I had that, and that was like minus 120. I'm like, Rainer Suarez, bro, come on now. And then they got down 3-0 in the first. I'm like, fuck. And then they come back. I'm like, whoo, it made me sweat for it a little bit, sweat for my money. But hey, shout out the Nationals for finally getting back on track for your boy here. They've been taking a lot of money for me lately. Prior to that Mackenzie Gore was that last outing, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna try it one more time. Luckily, we got there. So yeah, I'm gonna be heading to another plus big money spot here. I'm going Logan Webb to record a win. Only thing I'm worried about is why is this price so high, right? It's plus 155 on DraftKings. I really like this spot. Facing off against the Seattle Mariners here. Seattle on the road, they only bet 230 on the road with a 305 on base percentage. Obviously not something you really want to see when you're facing off against Logan Webb. You got Logan Webb with great home road splits like always. 2.3 ERA at home this year. He's been phenomenal. 227 average with only a 360 slugging overall this year. Obviously that is very, very good. Also, you're going over to Brian Wu. I always think it's Brandon for some reason. I don't know why. But Brian Wu. And we look at his home road. He's only had 22 innings so far. He's got a 2.5 ERA at home, a 6 on the road. But what I'm really concerned about here is the left-handed splits here. I don't know how he's going to get through this lineup when he's allowing a 4.12 batting average to lefties. And what are the Giants known for? They're platooning. They always do that, right? So now you're going to have Jock Peterson. You're going to have Yastrzemski out there. You're going to have Bailey out there. There's a lot of left-handed power here. And we got a couple switch hitters in there as well that should be able to help us out there too. So I'm like, how are we seeing a guy who gives up 400, right? 412 with a 794 slugging to lefties, a lineup that we should see at least 4 or 5 lefties in this lineup. And Logan Webb, who's just absolutely been dominant at home this year. It's just kind of comboing everything. The Giants just got embarrassed last night again against the Mets on Sunday Night Baseball. Maybe that's the only reason, because they're flying across country doing all that. But I can't get away from this one. I'll take their bullpen against the Mariners bullpen. I'll take pretty much everything that they got. One-on-one, I'm taking the Giants here. You got the hitters that are playing better than Seattle. Brian Wu obviously is a prospect that's definitely shown out pretty well here. But I'm going with the proven commodity and Logan Webb at home and hoping he can continue his dominance there.
Yeah, no, this is a really good price, obviously, like you said, with the plus 155 with Webb, who's notoriously strong at home. This was almost my, game of the day choice as well, because I love watching Webb. I definitely have a lot of confidence. And Wu, like you said, he has shown some flashes, but I think this is just a consequence of what happens when you call up a guy directly from Double A. Like, yeah, of course he's going to have some flashes. They clearly saw good things in him. That doesn't mean he's a consistent MLB pitcher on a day-to-day basis at, 22 years old or however old he is. So it's one of those situations where I like Wu. I think he's got some potential, but he's not someone I'm actively scared to bet against, especially when you have Logan Webb on the other side of the mound. And like you said, all those great lefty platoons ready to play. So definitely like this spot. Yeah, a little bit surprised by the nice odds right here, but I'll be telling you, if the public wants to overreact to Sunday Night Baseball, that's on them,
Yeah, no, and I completely understand. That's literally the first thing that came in my head is like, but it's like when the advantage is this significant, it's just the pitching portion. If it was all just hitting that I was talking about, then yeah, maybe I understand that a little bit more. But I mean, I guess some of the advanced metrics for Wu aren't terrible. Like they're actually pretty good, like the expected ERA, all that stuff. But I just don't think Seattle's gonna be able to hit Logan Webb in San Francisco. Dude, he's just so damn good at pitching to that park. And if you do find a way to get the ball in the air, it just dies out there. So it's tough to get away from Logan Webb today, and hopefully Brian Wu can deal, man. For all I care, just go down 2-0 and let that Giants pen eat a little bit. Camilo Duvall hasn't had a throw in the last two games, which is another thing. So maybe we could see him go for 4 or 5 outs. So just another thing that could possibly work for us as well. So another plus 150 spot. But I don't have a long shot today. Stu, do you want to talk about your long shot? Because I know it's something that we already kind of talked about a little bit.
Yeah, no, I doubled up on Candelario earlier, and I played him to record a double as my long shot in this one. That was plus 380 this morning. It's down to plus 340 now, which is pretty good. I mean, when you think of, who are the guys that lead the league in doubles? You're thinking Freddie Freeman, Matt Olson was there last year. Obviously, he switched to home runs this year, but Candelario's third on the list. That's the point I was trying to get to. And I don't think that's a stat that a single person in the MLB, I don't think anyone's getting that. If I gave you a couple chances, if I gave you Ahan, all the guys in the chat, Candelario, just no one talks about our fucking team. All this guy does is hit doubles, right? And all of his slugging comes against right-handed pitching. He has like 2 home runs and 4 doubles against lefties this year. He hits singles, he gets on base, but all of the slugging comes against righties. Obviously, he's a switch hitter, so that makes a lot of sense right here. I just think this is a great spot. I think this is a good price. I don't think they've caught up that he's pretty much just a doubles machine. That's kind of what he does. Hopefully Lane Thomas gets on base for him and we cash this in one play right here.
Good looks. Obviously, I think we're probably the only people who watch Nationals baseball anyway, just because I just kind of have to bet them, when we're on the show together here. So, yeah, plus 340. I've watched a decent amount of Nationals baseball, and hopefully he continues. I mean, he's raking. I might have to pick him up. I might have to grab him in fantasy because I still think he's on the waiver wire.
Yeah. Well, and he might even get flipped to a better team at the trade deadline. Who knows? But obviously that would be even more, runs, RBIs, equity, all that stuff. So who knows what happens? But I would be very surprised if Candelario is still a national post-trade deadline. So we'll see. I got to get all my bets in before.
Hey, not too bad. I wish they would give you like preseason like doubles lines and stuff. Like that would be something maybe we do next year. Just grabbing Candelario there, but let's go through a quick recap. I'm looking through the chat. I don't think we have any other questions. We can go through who's all in here quick towards the end, but let's go through a quick recap and we'll get it rolling here.
Sounds good. I went with Luis Arias over 1.5 total bases minus 109, and then we went Candelario over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs minus 130 over on BetMGM. Finally, got a little Candelario double plus 340. This one's FanDuel and DraftKings, same price.
Beautiful. And I'll be on Michaelis over 6.5 hits allowed minus 125. Logan Webb to record a win at plus 155. No long shot for me today. I none of them really are standing out to me today. Usually I have something pretty crazy for you guys, but maybe that first 5 over in the first game just smacked up to 7.5. Just see if Martin Perez can just get smashed in there. So let's take a look here at the chat. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Terrence, first one in here. Got Steve in here as well. Scottie Pippen Jr. tonight. Oh man, summer. I don't know if I can watch the first summer league. Maybe I'll wait till like the fourth. Maybe they're at least warmed up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, this isn't even the real one though, right? The real one's in Vegas. This is like the little invitational or something. I don't know. I don't really understand.
Idea. Didn't even know it was tonight.
I'm just going based on Twitter information. I've done zero research, but people seem to say that this isn't like the real deal. I don't know. I have no clue, but I'm going to Vegas too. I'm going to miss the summer league though. It ends in like the 20th, and I'm there like a week later, unfortunately. But we'll have to survive. I'll have to watch Johnny Davis in person this year.
You're out in Vegas that time?
Yes, sir.
What time? When are you going out there?
About the 22nd to the 27th, around then.
Oh damn, that's gonna be hot. Bro.
It's going to be
out there 2 weeks ago, and it was what 95 every day. I can't imagine what it is in July and August, dude. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, last time I was there, I think it hit 108 on one of the days that I was there, and I was like, "Oh, I can never come back here." But we're doing it one more time, so yeah. If anyone's in Vegas during that time, hit me up. I'll be around. We'll see.
What are you doing out there? Are you doing all the shows and shit, or are you just going to gamble out there?
I got like a family thing in the area, so I just said, fuck it. I'm going to go to Vegas. Why not? Got some time around there. Let's do it. So, yeah, we're going to be gambling pretty hard for sure.
Nice. I don't think we got anything else in here. I think we got through everything. Stu, what do you got for the people here? We got 20 of you guys still in here. We appreciate all you guys tuning in for the entire time today. We just had our recap. If you didn't see it a minute or two ago, flip it back. Yeah, old totals on that. That's not bad, dude. I like that 8.5. 370 is tasty price. Definitely a look. I'll be betting on that first 5 over already. So you can grab like 5. Like you can grab it at 5 at like minus 120 right now on DraftKings, which is I don't mind having that option for a push. I know a lot of people don't like having to see 6 runs, but I don't mind having that push option, especially when it's only like 20 cents difference than like FanDuel. What's plus 100 for that extra run? I'll take the push equity.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only time I hate a push is when you like write an article about it and you sat there for that hour and you really thought about it, and then you're like, oh, come on, you got to push. But any other time, I'm with you, and it's not the big spotlight or anything. But I'm going to be tailing that. I might even throw together a little first 5 Houston and then Nationals game over parlay and see what happens, because I think those are the 2 blow up spots on the slate today.
All right, so what you got for the people here?
Yeah, I mean, nothing much else. I think these will probably be my only spots for today's slate. Got my last off day for a little bit today. So, yeah, got a pretty back day after this, but expect articles for the rest of the week and, maybe some summer league prize picks action sprinkled in. Twitter almost died over the weekend. So if you're worried about that, you can come join my Discord. It's free. We chill. We talk about bets. A lot of smart people that you see in the chat are also sharing their bets in the Discord as well. So definitely anyone is welcome to join if you're scared of not seeing past the prop anymore. Luckily, we're not just on Twitter, so you can find us in a lot of places. But that was a little scary this weekend.
Yeah, no, I saw that. Everybody's freaking out. Everybody's starting on Instagram now. I'm sure they'll post one thing on it for 2 months.
Oh, yeah.
But Wednesday, we'll be back. There's a heads up. Wednesday, we probably will go later. I looked at there's only one early game at 1 o'clock. Everything else is 5:40. So they're doing a good job on these Wednesday slates and pushing them back and not having like a split 7-7.
Yeah.
So probably our normal time, probably around noon, just to get these ones out there, just so you guys are aware of where we're at. And yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday, bringing you guys a couple more picks and hopefully talking about a sweep from today. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck. Hit that like button on your way out, and we'll see you on Wednesday for another slate.